Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm taking you on a bit of a two-part series. First, we're going to take a tour of Hachland Hill, which is a venue in Nashville, and I want to talk to you a little bit about things that I look for when I'm doing venue tours, questions that I ask, because especially if you're a new planner, this is something that you can do immediately to start to build your relationships with vendors and venues, and also just get really familiar with certain spaces and start thinking about how you would create layouts for ceremonies, receptions, small parties, all that kind of stuff. And then we are going to go and coordinate a wedding for one of my friends. She had a last minute emergency, and it just goes to show how important it is to have connections in the wedding industry so that you can jump in and help when planners need your help, or if you are in an emergency situation and you have people that can come in and help, that is always really good to know. So, okay, we're here at Hachland Hill. I was taking a tour of the indoor space. I want to always ask about how many guests can sleep on site if it's a venue that allows accommodations. I also want to know about all of the possible event spaces. Where can we do ceremonies? Where can we do receptions? What is the capacity in each of these buildings or outdoor spaces? Can we add tents? What's the power like? Talk to me about parking, like all this kind of stuff. So this is one of their spaces where they do ceremony and tents, and they have this really cool kind of barn accommodation area that's turned into more rooms and kitchen spaces. And they allow you to also rent this back patio that has a permanent tent that you'll see in just a moment, but that allows you to set up kind of as you wish under that tent. And there's also a barn that people tend to do their bar inside and dancing. So the other thing I want to ask too is curfew. What time can we have amplified music until? What rentals are included in the space? And what policies do you have with open fire? Are you allowed real candles? Are you allowed, fire pits at night? Tell me more about that. If you're curious also about just the list of questions, there's so many more that I honestly can't even think of at the top of my mind. Oh, and by the way, we got to do a tasting, which was so fun because that really allows me to experience the catering team and see what all they're able to provide for our guests. And I always ask about dietary restrictions during that moment too. Like, are you guys able to accommodate gluten-free or dairy intolerance, stuff like that. If you're curious about other questions that I ask, I literally did a full brain dump into one single guide. I will link it in the description below, but it's my venue tour questionnaire. And I literally break down everything from the moment you step into the property and want to ask questions about parking, all the way to, like we said, curfew, rental questions, power questions, restroom things you need to know. Like, everything is there. It's a brain dump from the last 13 years of me planning events, sometimes in the middle of nowhere. And I need to know everything that needs to happen in the space. If you want to get that, it's available in the notes or in the description down below.
Did design the first in-flight menu for airlines back when plain food was more of a to-do than I've ever known it to be.
Okay, welcome to Seidel in Nashville. We are coordinating a wedding for another planner today. Let's jump in.
Okay, next up, we got to sort through our linens. So I always double check the packing list. And something for planners to know is you've got to really understand your sizes. 90 by 132 is for a 6-foot table. 120-inch round is a 60-inch round, or it could be a cocktail table. 132 round is a 72-inch round table, and so on and so on. So I just got to make sure everything is here, and we'll keep setting up. Guys, when putting linens on, always make sure you pull them enough so that the bottom touches the floor, especially when they're facing the front. And in this case, it's probably the head table. So I always prioritize, fix this, the front of it, because the back is not as important. I've been looking for my binder. There it is. I wonder why it's here.
This was a fairly easy wedding for me, mostly because I knew the vendors. The caterer is a full service caterer, which makes it so nice for the planner. And we did have to do a bit of a flip of the space. So you can see there's no chairs here because they're being used for the ceremony. So once the ceremony was over, we moved these in, had people do an extended cocktail hour because the couple wanted to do an outfit change. With an Indian fusion wedding, a lot of the times there's a lot of like beautiful outfits and things do take a little bit longer to get in and out of. So we wanted to make sure that everybody had enough time.
Okay, so since we're doing a flip of the ceremony space and the reception, we're moving all the chairs from the ceremony to the reception. I want to make sure I identify how many chairs are going on each table. It's easy for us to know during the flip. So I'm going by table number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go around and put these little Post-it notes down on each table so that when flip happens, no matter who is there helping, the catering team, the planners, whatever, they know how many chairs to put on each table. So this is a little tip for you guys. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to make sure I do a sample place setting for the caterer. So I go and get all my rentals and I fold the napkin, I put out the utensils, the plate, the glassware, and I just show them what it's going to look like so that their team can come and set all the rest identically.
Lightheartedness, kindness, and spontaneity. They love to spend time together, engaging in each other's hobbies. For Luke, that includes cars, coffee.
Your car. That's gonna tell you which seat is yours. So come on in once again. Big introduction coming up, y'all.
And just like that, it's the end of the evening. I couldn't believe it. The couple actually ended their wedding 1 hour early, which doesn't happen very often, but they were going to be doing multiple days of events. And that is the case typically for Indian weddings or South Asian weddings. And so I think they were pretty burnt out, which I understand. And so we ended up cleaning up the space an hour early, which is always a treat for the event team. And then sent them on their way. They did go to Broadway for an hour, and that was about it.